Hello you beauties, welcome to my art studio. This week it's all about snails and going back to your childhood dreams and playtime. And I hope you love snails as much as me. So I'll let you into a little secret about a secret. I've had an idea. Dun, dun, dun. If you know me well, you know that pretty much daily I've had an idea. If not 2 ideas or 3. And normally if I say to Tom, guess what? I've had an idea. He either goes, I can't even do his face, but he either goes, right, and then waits for me to tell him, or he goes, oh. Because he knows it's either 1, something really ridiculous that's never going to happen, 2, something that's really ridiculous that probably will happen, or 3, something quite clever that I probably will never get round to. So this idea falls into category 2. It's an idea I've had for years, like, I don't know, at least 8 to 10 years, something like that. And I've never done it. And I know this is a bit cryptic, and I hate them things, you know, like on social media where people go, oh, this happened, and you're like, well, you've not actually told me what happened, you just want me to go, what happened? And then you never actually tell them. Well, I don't want it to be like that. But I am keeping it a surprise until next week, till next week's video. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need to work on it. I need to sort it out in my brain and on paper what it's going to be. But you are going to get a clue and a sneak preview of a little part of it. So a little part of it includes snails. And you can see a snail set and a snail made out of plasticine. Oh, what could it be? So that's all I'm saying right now. And next week, hopefully, fingers crossed, if I've had a really good week and done what I need to do, I can tell you all about it. Now, I am not one for keeping secrets. I'm actually terrible at keeping secrets if it's something exciting, like if it's a birthday plan or something. So this is really hard for me not to tell you. But anyway, until then, enjoy the video. I am sure if you've been following this channel for a long time, you already know the story of the snail house. So when I was a child, I had a Fisher-Price yellow playhouse, and I was so excited because on eBay I saw the exact same house, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get that house, it's the same house. So I did, and here is that original video from 5 years ago when it turned up. So I thought I'd tell you the story of my snail house print, because not everybody might know this story. So this came about because when I was a little girl I had a snail house, and they were my pets. So it was the exact same house as this one. This is a Fisher-Price one, and it has a little bell. The garage opens, and then the front door opens, and then you can open the whole thing inside. And I had one of these when I was a kid, and I had it in the garden, and I kept snails in it. And what I didn't know is at the time that snails eat glue, so all the lovely wallpaper and stuff inside, they ate it all. But I never knew that until I was a grown-up why. And every day I'd go out into the garden and I'd feed them with things, because my dad used to grow veg, I used to take some of his lettuce and things like that and post it in the windows, and then every now and again I'd open the house and like look inside and see what they were doing and stuff, and just used to watch them, and they'd come in and out of the windows because the windows are open, like they've got no window in, so they weren't trapped in there. And then, lo and behold, 5 years later, it's been sat in my cupboard with all my other toys and things, and it's finally got a use. I did a plan on buying furniture for it and things like that, and making furniture for it, and I never did. And it's just been sat there. Sorry about that wobble, it's the dog. He went under my table. And yeah, it's just been sat there, and now I've finally got a use. It's actually going to be made in the snail videos, so that's quite fun. And it's got all its wallpaper, and the great thing is about my plasticine snail, he's not going to eat all glue and wallpaper, is he? So it's been lovely. It's just been a week of snails, and I adore snails so much. I really do. They're such lovely creatures, really lovely creatures, and some people just don't like them because they eat everything. And I get that. I get it. Like when I grew my courgettes, oh my gosh, they love eating courgettes. I put all 2 peas around the tub so they couldn't get them, and then I felt really mean, and I was like, oh, the snails need to eat too. So then I picked some courgettes, and I'd be like, 1 for the kitchen and 1 for the snails, and chop them all up and put them on. There's an area where I feed the birds, and I chopped all these courgettes up and put it on there, and then it had rained and there was tons of snails everywhere, so I gently went round collecting them and gave them a courgette feast. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you're picking a snail up, you can't just... I haven't got one. Where's my snail shell? Hang on. Look. I've got a whole pot of snail shells. These were found in the garden with no snails in. And my friend Cindy also found some in her garden with no snails in. So she brought them to me as well. So no snails have been harmed by getting these. So, for example, we have to pretend now that you've got the snail body underneath. And snail is, oh, this is tricky. Snail is on the wall or something, and you want to pick him up, and his little head's peeping out, and his little feelers are like this, and you can't just pluck him up like that, because if you do that to him, this is really horrible, but where he's attached inside, it all rips and he dies. It takes, I think it's like 24 hours for him to have a really slow, painful death. So don't do that, because that's awful. So what you need to do is, imagine his little head sticking out. Hello, little snail. You need to tap on his shell gently. And that makes him retreat into his shell. And wait for him to retreat all the way. And if he doesn't retreat all the way, gently tap again. Now, when you've done that and he's in his shell, very gently, backwards and forwards, just tiny little movements to pick him up. Don't pluck him. He's got to go backwards and forwards so he's sticky underneath his mollusky, whatever it's called. Under there is detached from whatever it's standing on. The other way you can do it is, if it's rainy, you get some water, some rainwater, not tap water. Get some rainwater, and again, tip, 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 let him go in, and then gently moving backwards and forwards. And because there's water on there, rainwater, it makes it like more lubricant. And then you can gently, when you wiggled him, then pick him up. But as you pick him up and like push him along so his little sticky bit doesn't get stuck to anything, and then gently put him somewhere where he can have a little feast. So that's how you pick up a snail. And I've collected all these because I was going to make some snail shell earrings, which would be cool, wouldn't it? But I've not got the fixtures yet. I've had these over a year as well. That happens a lot to me. I collect things thinking, oh, I'll use that, it'll come in handy at some point. or I'm going to make something with it. And then years later, that's when I actually make things with the things. And in some cases, like my Fisher Price house, it's come in handy, hasn't it? So never say never. So it's been a lovely week of creating. Now the trouble is, I've made him, but he's too top heavy, so he's just going to keep falling over. Look, he's wobbling over. So I need to either thicken that up at the back to make him not as top heavy. Could I put maybe stick sticks through? Oh, that's a good idea. I could stick sticks through from the bottom to keep it upwards. Yeah, because he's not going to stay up otherwise, is he? So I wonder if I could stick something through. I don't have any cocktail sticks, but I'm wondering if I've got something else to make him stay up. Or maybe his shell's too big. Oh, there he goes. Do you know, it was so hard to get plasticine. I couldn't find it anywhere. So this is modelling clay, as you saw, which is the same type of thing, but plasticine's like the OG, isn't it, of modelling clay, and it was really good. This is quite sticky. It's not, don't know, it doesn't seem to work as well as plasticine, but I couldn't find it. I didn't just go to the range, I went to quite a few shops looking for it. So I don't know if they've stopped doing it. I saw it online, but you got to buy like this big modelling set, and I don't want that. I just want the strips of plasticine. So anyway, I'm going to make him some eyes now. So I figured out that if I did his shell double the size, like instead of it being tall, double the size, he now sits up. So I'm now going to do his eyes. See what they come out like. So I think they might be a bit big. Oh, I don't know, he's quite funny. I've not done anything like this for years. Yeah, I think they could be a bit too big. Make them a bit smaller. I think because my hands are hot as well, it's not working as well. It's like getting too sticky because my hands are hot. I've always loved snails. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that when I was a little girl I used to have pet snails in the garden. And I love them. I've got a whole tub of snail shells. Ones that have been naturally discarded. I wouldn't steal a shell from a snail. That'd be mean, wouldn't it? Oh, his eyes are coming on. Now he's backwards. Let me show you from the front. Look, his eyes are coming on. Just need some little, just need some little black bits on him now for eyeballs. So I made him some little dealy boppers, these things. They're not really called dealy boppers, they're antennae. And I made him a little mouth, but I'm not quite happy with his mouth. I think I'll redo that. But I do like his eyes, he's a little bit bonkers. So he's got a pink one now, but even that doesn't look right. I know a snail's mouth is actually underneath. It's not actually there on the side. But to try and make him into a character, I think he should have a mouth, but I'm not quite sure why it's not working. Now we're talking. Look, it was the colour that was wrong. So he's ready now. He's ready to go in the doll's house. So my friend Cindy gave me these big sheets of board. They're like a corrugated foam board, and I've just scored one down the middle, so it's a bit awkward. But this bottom part's going to be the garden, and then it's going to have garden behind, and then the top's going to be the sky. And I've had this book, this sticker book, for ages. I got it from the charity shop ages and ages ago, and it's brilliant because it's got all like different stickers in it and stuff, and scenery. And I'm thinking of combining some of the pages out of it with some of my collage sheets and creating the background and the garden for the Fisher-Price Snail's house. I don't know if you remember ages ago when I was making my little collages, I collected loads of different papers and stuff in all colourways, and these are all the blue ones. So this top part, so I've done all that bit. This top part I'm going to do is sky. So I've got all these ripped out bits of paper from magazines and things like that in all different sky colours, and I'm going to build up the sky now. So the light's going a bit now, so I've had to put my big light on, but I have collaged the sky, and then all these are stuck down, and I'm just going through my sticker book and just adding extra stickers now to kind of blend in the foliage with the sky. So I'm going to carry that on because I don't want these flat lines where you can see where it's all been joined. I want it all to kind of blend in. So I've just had my first go of doing the stop motion for the snail house. I totally forgot how many frames per second that you need to do. So I figured out you've got to do 5 pictures per second. So can you imagine how long it takes for Wallace and Gromit to make a whole feature movie? Oh my goodness, honestly. Anyway, it's really rubbish. I don't want to share the first attempt with you, and obviously it's going to improve, I hope. So I've got it all set up. Look behind me, the little set, studio, whatever you want to call it, little set. With the house and everything, and I've finished the background, and Snail is in his little house, but he's quite naughty because his head keeps falling down. So I've put cocktail sticks in him to keep him up, which is working. I should have thought of that before. And then I saw on a video on YouTube that you're meant to make I think it's called an armature, like a wire model that goes underneath the plasticine. Obviously, because Snail's so small, it doesn't really matter that much. But if I was going to be making something bigger, I'd have to make one of those first. So here is the set that I made. I'm really happy with it, actually. It looks really cute. It's got all the collage papers, sorry for that noise, it was my chair, all the collage papers and everything stuck on, and then I added all the extra stickers so it blended in. And then there's the doll's house, the one that I used to have when I was a child, and here's Snail. But you see, look at his head, he keeps flopping down, he's a bit naughty. So yeah, I am pleased with it, and it's loads of fun, and it's good to just play, I think. What I'm actually going to do is add another board to the corner here. See if I can collage it the same. Really, I should have done it all at the same time. So it would have been the same aesthetic, but I think I can carry it on. And the reason that I'm going to add that corner board is because when you are videoing, I'm getting in all the background and not just the set. So if there's that side board on it, I'm thinking that I can tilt it to the house, like on an angle, and then I'll be able to video the whole set, which will be better. My problem is I don't know where on earth I'm going to keep this because I've got no workspaces clear anywhere. I think I need a whole room, a whole nother room to be a filming studio. Oh dear. So last week it was birds, I was bird mad. This week I'm snail mad. Now, oh, I just got a board on the table, it just bagged my bum. Ow. So not only have we been making plasticine snail, but I've also been embroidering a snail as well. Sadly, today I dropped my cup of tea and it spilled all over it. I've still not finished embroidering it, but it's just a little snail cushion that I'm making. This light's really weird because I'm in the cupboard. Let me move you over there. That's better. I'm in the light. Yes, look, embroidered snail. Isn't it lovely? So I've been doing fern and flowers and just sitting at night, but yeah, I spilt tea all over it. So it's fine because I'm just going to think it's like a vintagey one. I need to figure out how to sort his head out. He's a little bit... I don't know what to do with him, and whether to actually embroider eyes on him and dealy boppers, eye feelers, or just leave it. But it's really sweet, isn't it? Here's a snail painting that I did. Isn't it cute? These are going to be available as prints on my Etsy if you would like one. Thank you, Jenny Wren. Honestly, that bird clock, oh my goodness. It's every day it goes off. I'm like... So I wanted to show you this picture. It's me in the garden when I was little. Look, I was 7. Can you see it? It's really hard. I'll do an overhead picture of it. But I was in the garden, and the garden was really like, I call it, oh my gosh, this chair, listen to me. I call it a rambuncled garden because it was, it wasn't very messy, it was wild. That's what it was very wild. My dad had a veg patch at the top of the garden, and my mum grew all flowers at the bottom of the garden. And there was an old shed where hedgehogs lived underneath it. And my mum had like this lean-to, I don't know what you'd call it, shack thing. Doesn't sound very romantic, does it? But my dad had built it for her, and she'd grown Russian vine and honeysuckle over it. And I used to play in it. I'd spend hours in there making mud pies and all sorts of things. And then we had a pond because my dad knew the guy that was the park warden, and lots of people used to fish in the lake at the park and sadly injure the ducks. And we got all the poorly ducks, and there was a duck pond in the garden. So my dad would bring them home, or the park warden would bring them round, and my dad would look after them and I'd help him. And oh my gosh, ducks don't half make a mess. They poo everywhere. And when they were like healthy again, when they were healed, then the park warden would collect them and they'd go back to the park. So it was really lovely. I mean, it sounds ideal, doesn't it? It sounds like an idyllic childhood. And in many ways, it was really lovely. But to just balance it out, to be truthful, like my dad was pretty violent, and yeah, there was a lot of problems within their relationship, and they got divorced when I was 7. So in many ways it was a lovely childhood because I was encouraged to be outside, I was encouraged to be creative, I was always encouraged to be with the animals and look after the animals. We had loads of pets, a dog, a cat, a mouse, 2 budgies, Peter and Paul. Yeah, there was all sorts of animals and we looked after them, and I think that's why my love and passion for nature and animals is so strong, because I've learned it from a young age. But at the same time, there was a lot of violence and trauma and whatever you want to call it in the house, you know, and I just wanted to share that because I don't ever want anybody watching this channel to feel like, well, I had a shit childhood and it's all right for you, Jack, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always 2 sides, 3 sides to everything. So as much as I had a beautiful childhood in nature, there was other parts to it as well. But I won't change any of it. It's, you know, it's who I am. It's why I'm like I am now. So ages ago, my childhood home came up for sale. I say ages, it was like, I don't know, a few months ago or something. And I was like, oh my goodness, we could buy it. But we don't have a deposit. We don't have the money to buy it. But, you know, so I had to look through the pictures and it kind of crushed me. It really broke my heart because I think in your brain, it's always the same as it was then, you know, and it was nothing like it was then. The whole garden's been concreted over. Oh, all the trees and everything have been chopped down. Oh. So it had been really kind of traumatic, but it just made me think of that recreation of your childhood. And I think a lot of the time, that's kind of where I'm at. It's all the things that I do to create and to play and explore and notice things, like noticing little bits of moss in cracks of pavements, or, you know, noticing a little raindrop hanging off a lichen, and if you zoom in with your loop or your magnifying glasses, you can see like the whole world in this raindrop. There's all sorts of things, the way that the dew dances on spider webs and looks like a crystal chandelier, and there's so many things, and I think in many ways I've been a grown-up for a long time, you know, having children and stuff like that, and it's almost kind of beautiful and magical to be able to play and explore in this way and think about things from childhood and really connect with that. And there's so many people that I've mentored and or talked to that are lost and they don't know what they're doing. And I always say to them, and this is a question for you, so if you're feeling like you're lost and you're not quite sure what you're doing, I always say, what things did you love doing when you was a child? What were they? What were the things that you just naturally did? They're the things that you need to be doing as an adult. Like, when we're children, we just naturally do the things that we're drawn to, and then some weird growing up stuff happens, you know, bills and whatever, responsibilities and jobs and boring stuff happens, and a lot of people feel like they're missing something, but I think this is why this is going to get a bit serious now, and it doesn't mean to be serious, because I was talking about snails, but it's important. I think this is why a lot of people turn to drink and drugs and escapism and stuff like that, because they're trying to escape this more mundane, boring, drudgerous life. You know, I've been there, I've done it myself, and actually, if you can just go back to those childhood things that you enjoyed doing, there's the things that really light you up, like proper light you up. I'm the same person now in an adult body that I was when I was 6. Like, I still love creating, I still love being in nature, I still love animals. All them things I used to do when I was 6 is still the same things that I love doing now. Reading books, do you know, like cozying up to my stuffy animals and taking naps. All the things are just the same, and it's not like, I think a lot of people get it mixed up. They think it's childish, and it's not childish, it's childlike in the way of wonder and imagination and joy, because at the end of the day, I've still got to feed my family, I've still got to look after the dog, I've still got to earn money, I've still got to do the grown-up things, I've still got to pay bills and all that stuff, do you know? But there's such an element of joy and noticing the little things that are just amazing. And I know that not everybody's like that, you know. Some women would like, I don't know, diamonds and the nails painting and going out to fancy restaurants, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I'm quite happy finding sea pottery like treasure, or snail shells in the garden and putting them in a pot and not actually doing anything with them. You know, and having jam butties and reading a story, and that's okay as well. So I know I've gone off on a bit of a tangent. Are you with me? Are you still with me? Basically, what I'm saying is, you have permission to be you, and you don't have to fit into some kind of grown-up narrative just because you've got responsibilities. This is why I feel that adult colouring books have been such a popular, massive thing, because it's giving you that allowance, that permission to do something that you used to do when you was a child. So I hope that's a little pep talk for the week going ahead. What could you do? What one thing could you do to bring more joy and fun back into your life? What one thing from childhood could you bring back or recreate or look on eBay for and bring it back to bring you that joy and that happiness? And even if you just look at it and don't do anything with it, but it brings you happiness, that's okay. That is perfectly okay.
And look what I treated myself to. When I was a child, I always wanted some Crayola crayons, but they were super expensive. And I found these in B&M Bargains for £1.49. I was like, I'm having a set of them.
I totally forgot that these Crayola crayons have got the name on them. So this one's Carnation Pink, and it's also now got it in French, and I'm not sure what that other language is. Oh, look at the state of my nails. I just realised I'm mucking my fingers off. That's because I've been playing with plasticine. I have washed my hands, believe me. Yeah, I also forgot how they smell. You know what they smell like when you're drawing with them, and how soft they are, like when they go onto the paper. Thank you for watching this week's video. I want to do a big shout out to my Patreon subscribers. Thank you very much for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the work that I do. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's like a membership where you can either be a free member or you can join for £3 to support me, and I've got another tier on there which I can't remember how much it is, but basically I send you goodies every month through the post. Paintings, postcards, stickers, all sorts of things. So my Patreon is called Dotty Delightful, so if you want to go and check it out, do. And until next time, see you soon and have a wonderful week and stay creative.